Hi, I'm Lynette and welcome to my channel. Today I will be giving you the final update to my series. I spent how much money on makeup in 2019? Actually, if you're new here, I started a series on my channel where I started to keep track for the year. I was keeping track of the amount of eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes and lipsticks and the amount of money that I spent on these items for the year of 2019. And the reason I chose eyeshadows and lipsticks is because those are my two biggest weaknesses when it comes to spending money on makeup. So the point of this whole little project was to just keep a track so that I would know. I was doing a lot of impulsive spending in 2018. Well, in the last couple of years since I've really started to get into eyeshadows and buying makeup, and since starting my channel. And so I was doing a lot of impulsive spending on my two biggest loves, lipstick and eyeshadow. And I wanted to really just kind of get that in check and gain some control over my spending. So I thought that keeping track of what I was buying, how much I was buying, and how much money I was spending would help me to hold myself accountable and to really give more thought before I go and click a button, purchase, put in cart, and complete purchase, or before running to the store and just buying something that I thought was exciting. I really wanted to give more thought into, do I really need another eyeshadow palette? Do I really need this eyeshadow palette? Do I really need this color lipstick? And really think about what it is that I have already, and do I really, what it is that I'm using, because a lot of it I have not been using, and do I really want to bring in more items to pretty much just collect. And I don't want to be a makeup collector. I really want to be a makeup user. I want to be someone who buys makeup because I use it, not because I just want to sit and look at it, or I want to complete a collection. You know, I really want it to be of use. So that's what made me start this project. And I think it has been helpful, and I certainly think for much of the year it helped. I did have my moments where I just bought, but even in those moments I still gave thought to the purchases that I was making, and sometimes I just overruled myself. Like, do you have this already? Yes. Are you currently using it? No. Do you need to then add another one to the stash you're already not using? No. Am I gonna buy it anyway? Yes. So there were times when I would buy it anyway, but there were really a lot of times when I held off. And then there were times when I held off long enough to get the item at a good price, at a discount, because I'm all about, if I don't have to pay full price for it, I'm not going to. So there were many cases where, yes, maybe I still spent the money, but I spent a lot less than I would have if I had just ran out and purchased it on impulse. And then there were quite a few items that I didn't buy at all, because after really thinking about it and just feeling really bad, like I really don't want to add more stuff to the stuff I already have and I'm not using, and I wouldn't buy it. And part of this project, I was not only keeping accounting of what I was buying, but I was also keeping account of what I wasn't buying. I kind of fell off on that side of things, I'm gonna be honest. There was a moment, I forget what month it was, where I almost just gave it up, because I thought I was getting ready to come on here and give you an update, and I'm like, it's just gonna be a haul. It's gonna be a haul video, because I just went out and purchased a whole bunch of eyeshadows and lipsticks. So I did get discouraged, really discouraged at one point, but then I got back on track. I got back to really thinking about, I don't really want to add this stuff. And what I've also been thinking about is, you know, what if, because I'm aging and not very well, I want to add, what if my eyes get so droopy and get so wrinkled that I really just can't wear eyeshadow anymore, or I can't wear it in a way that I want to wear it, that I won't be able to do my eyeshadow in the way that I like to do it, or yeah, like something happens and I just can't have all this eyeshadow anymore. Like, what will I do if I just let it go bad, or if I end up having to throw stuff out because I never used it and now I can't anymore, or you know what I mean? And I have been giving that a lot of thought. Like, I have spent a lot of money on these items, and it would really suck if I just, for whatever reason, couldn't use them anymore, had to get rid of them and couldn't use them anymore. And so I've been thinking about all of that. So I would like to report, I mean, I felt like I was doing pretty well for a while there, and then in December, just this month, it all fell apart. I got to the Black Friday sales and the Christmas sales, and it just kind of fell apart. I kind of went a little crazy. If you saw my Black Friday haul video, which I'll link up there if you haven't, you know, I really fell off the wagon. I really fell off the wagon. And I found that about myself too. As with any addiction, when you've gone without for a while, you start to have withdrawal. And I would find I would have withdrawal. I'd be doing really, really, really well, and then I just would itch and get the urge to want to buy makeup, to want to buy eyeshadow, because I hadn't done it in a while, and it's something that I missed, and I wanted to do it. So I do feel like I did learn quite a bit about myself in this journey to try to be less impulsive, to be more thoughtful in my purchasing, and to buy less makeup, particularly eyeshadow and lipstick. So I'm gonna give you the final roundup today. This is the final update. And I got my book here, I got all my notes. And when last we spoke, it was April. So it's been a while since I've done this. And as of April, I had spent $283.80 on eyeshadows and lipsticks, which I'm looking at it now and I feel like, oh, that wasn't a lot of money. I was doing pretty well. I bought quite a few things, quite a bit of eyeshadow and lipsticks in January and February, and then in March I did really well. I only bought the ABH, actually I didn't even buy the ABH Riviera palette. I got that with a Sephora $100 rewards card. So in March I bought 2 lipsticks and I got a free palette. So I did really well in March. And then you'll see, or I noticed a trend when I did really, really well. Then the next month I kind of went into withdrawal and got to spending. So in April I bought the Milani Hypnotic holographic eye toppers. I bought 2 of those. I bought 2 of the Juvia's Place palettes at 40% off each. I bought another Milani eye topper. I bought some Sydney Grace, an eyeshadow bundle, Kaleidos, so that brought my total up to the $283.80. So, you know, had a good month, did really, really well, and then the next month sort of kind of did some backsliding and bought some more stuff. In May I did really well. I only bought 2 eyeshadow palettes, the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette, which I absolutely love, and I bought the LA Girl Hot Heat Aloha palette, which was relatively cheap. I put down I got it for $15, but I actually paid I think $12 for it, so my numbers will be off maybe by $3. And then I bought the Glitter Pop Glittery Obsessed glitters, like liquid glitter topper shadows. I bought 3 of those. They were in a set for $12. That brought my total to $351.80. So for almost 6 months, $300. I mean, not too terrible. And then in July, I I did pretty well in July, and then in August, again, did pretty well in July. In August, kind of backslid again. Bought some lipsticks, bought some Give Me Glow. I think, no, I had already bought some Give Me Glow eyeshadows. And yeah, I bought Give Me Glow a couple of times in August. And bought a lot more lipsticks. And then in November, I only bought 2 palettes. I bought the Ace Beauté, the Flare palette, which I showed you in my last video. And I only bought this palette because it was 40% off. That's really the only reason I bought it. So, you know, didn't feel too good about that purchase. And then I bought the Juvia's Place, the Nomad palette. So November actually, well, is that true? That's not really true, right? No, I think I kind of melded together November and December, because then for Black Friday I bought from Juvia's Place, I bought the Warrior 2 palette, the Coral palette, the Nubian 3 palette, and then that's when it just started to spiral out of control. I started to think, you know, it's Christmas, it's the end of the year, I'm just gonna buy like the sales. It ran off the rails. And in December alone, I bought 10 eyeshadow palettes, which is ridiculous. I had ordered the Be Perfect Carnival Extra Large palette with Stacey Marie. Finally got it. And you know, I'm sure what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And you know, I'm glad to have it. I'm glad to have it. It feels a lot cheaper. It's like very light. It's very cardboardish. Took a long time to get here, and yeah, so I have it. I'm happy to have it, but could I have done without it? Absolutely. I recently purchased another palette that you don't know about. It's the Violet Voss Vibes, the Neon Pressed Pigment palette. Tina from the Fancy Face made me buy this. She's been talking about this palette in a couple of videos, and this is a palette that I was doing really well with not purchasing, because during the Sephora VIB, the holiday bonus sale, I didn't buy it because I was trying to be good, and it's a $30 palette. I could have gotten it for 20% off, and I didn't, and was doing really, really well. And then saw her in another video big upping this palette, and saw her use the palette, and was like, oh. And then ended up purchasing it at full price, you know, like an idiot, because I felt like I just had to have it. Haven't used it yet, so I don't know the quality. I swatched it, and I'm not super impressed with the swatches, but we'll have to wait and see if I like it, and if it's a purchase I could have done. Well, I know it's a purchase I could have done without, but here we are. And then last but not least, I purchased 2 new palettes that haven't gotten here yet, because I just purchased them. They just launched. They're from Juvia's Place. They just launched, I believe it's 4 mini, I think 6-pan palettes, 4 mini palettes. The berries, the violets, the chocolates, I think, and then the neutrals. And I bought the berries and the violets. I saw that purple palette, and I couldn't resist, and then I bought the berries along with it. I'm kind of wishing I had bought the chocolates too. And you know, I could have waited, which is what I think everybody does at this point, because we know at some point all of these palettes are going to go on sale at Juvia's Place, and they're going to go on sale probably for at least 30% off. So I certainly could have waited, but I kind of didn't want to, and I kind of wanted to wrap up my eyeshadow palette purchasing and spending for 2019, because going into 2020, I want to do things differently. So what is the damage for 2019? Well, after all is said and done, and after all the dust has settled, as I said, I did buy 10 eyeshadow palettes just in the month of December. I bought single eyeshadows. I bought some lipsticks. Yeah, I did a lipstick declutter, which I may be doing a video to show you. I have a whole bunch here that I did another declutter to make room for the new lipsticks that I bought during the year. But anyway, the final tally, I bought 28 palettes, and I'm not even talking about loose eyeshadows or single eyeshadows. I bought 28 eyeshadow palettes in the year 2019, and I spent in total, give or take a couple of dollars, $1,347 on eyeshadows and lipsticks in the year 2019. Yeah, $1,300. That's a lot of money. I feel like that's a lot of money. I know for me and my budget, that's a lot of money. And I think about what I could have spent that money on. There's a lot of things I could have done with $1,300, and I spent it on eyeshadow palettes and lipsticks and eyeshadows, and yeah, so 28 palettes in 1 year is excessive to me. And when I actually, to see it in black and white, it's really kind of sickening. really kind of sickening. So I think this was definitely what I needed to kind of give me a wake-up call. I mean, I kind of had this call already, and that's why I did this project for 2019, but to see it in black and white, it's just, that's like super excessive. So I can say with certainty I will not be buying 28 eyeshadow palettes in the year 2020. I can say that with certainty. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy any more eyeshadow palettes next year or ever again. Like, I'm not going to do that to myself. I don't really feel like that's something I could do, and I don't think that's something I want to do. And I'm just thinking about all the new palettes that will launch next year. I don't even know what they are yet, but I know there's going to be something that's going to catch my eye. And so I wouldn't put that kind of unrealistic expectation or goal, set that kind of goal for myself, because I just don't see myself being true to that. But I can say with certainty I'm not going to be buying 28 eyeshadow palettes going forward next year. And I really want to start using, and I know I've said this before on my channel, but I really want to use the eyeshadows that I have, especially the new ones that I recently purchased, like the Pat McGrath, the 2 Star Wars mini palettes, which I've used once. I'll link the video. And they're really beautiful. I'm really happy to have these in my collection. The Carnival palette, I'm happy to have in my collection. I'm looking forward to using it. You know, the Melt Muerte palette, want to use this some more. So I'm really excited. Oh my god, I have the Give Me Glow Juicy Olive palette, which I bought months ago now, that I haven't even used yet. I've swatched it, haven't used yet. I've got palettes here that I was excited to get and use, and I haven't used yet. So I'm really excited about wanting to dig into these eyeshadow palettes, these new purchases, these older purchases, and use them. And yeah, I really don't want to keep adding and adding to my collection. Maybe in 2020 we'll see an eyeshadow declutter. Maybe. Okay, so I had to stop because my mom called me. She was lost. and I'm not quite sure where I left off. But to round this up, going forward, my plan is, well, I'm certainly not going to be buying excessive eyeshadow palettes. My plan is to use the palettes I already have. Will I buy palettes here and there? Probably. I mean, there will probably be some palettes that look really great to me, and you know, but for example, today, this look, I used the Carnival palette to create this look today, and to be honest, it looks like a look that I've done 3, 4, maybe 5 times before already. And I thought going in, you know, I was using these shadows and I thought going in, oh, it's gonna look different, and then as soon as I like put on the lid shade, I'm like, oh, I just used this lid shade. I feel like I just the last tutorial I did with one of the Pat McGrath Star Wars palettes, I used a shade that's almost like exactly the same color as the lid shade that I used today. So, and this look is a look that I know I've done a similar look with the ColourPop I Love Sarah Yee palette from years ago. Like, I know I've done this look before a number of times with different eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes. So, you know, to keep buying eyeshadows knowing that I already have these colors in my collection 2 and 3 times over, it's really kind of pointless and crazy. So, you know, I really think going forward in 2020 that I'm going to make changes. I really think it'll be different. I really do. And moving forward with my channel, you know, I don't know what that means for the channel. I know that it's going to be, I'm going to continue to do eyeshadow tutorials because that's what I like to do, but it's going to be with palettes that are old, with palettes that I already own. There's not going to be a lot of new stuff that I'm going to be showcasing on my channel anymore. And so I'm wondering, you know, is that going to help or hurt me? I don't know. I really want my channel to grow, but will it grow if I'm using palettes that no one is talking about anymore because they've moved on to the new hotness, you know, for right now? I know there are a lot of people like me who have bought these palettes and have them in their collection, and perhaps maybe they're still using them or would like to, oh, I have that palette, I remember that palette, pull it out and draw some new inspiration from it. So I'm hoping that people will still want to watch these eyeshadow tutorials even though I'm going to be using older palettes. I would love for you to let me know in the comments below going forward what would be some videos that you'd like to see more of on my channel so that I can do that. You may see some more reviews. I'll still be buying foundation and concealer because that's other products that I really love to try. So, you know, and maybe I'll actually be able to review stuff now that I will have a chance to use it. I wanted to do a roundup of ranking my palettes that I bought in 2019 from the ones I like the most to the ones I like the least, but I really don't feel like I could do that because some of these palettes I haven't even used, and then the majority that I have used, I've used one time, and I really don't think that would be a fair, thorough type of assessment for me to make when I really don't have a lot of experience with these shadows. So yeah, yeah. So let me know in the comments below, what is it that you would like to see going forward? Do you mind seeing eyeshadow tutorials with palettes from long ago with non-new things? Are there certain colors that you'd like to see? Certain techniques perhaps? Do you want to see more Get Ready With Me's? I might be doing more of those where I get to talk shit while I'm doing my makeup. So let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see going forward. But yeah, 2020, it's a new year. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a new me, but definitely going to be some new behavior. And the amount of money that I've spent this year on eyeshadows and lipsticks, I will not be spending in 2020. If you stayed this long, thank you for staying. You're the real MVP. If you liked what you saw in this video, then please by all means give it a like and consider subscribing because I do tutorials, makeup hauls, swatches, and reviews here on my channel every Saturday. I want to thank you for joining me today. By the time I see you again, it'll probably be a new year. I hope you have a happy and safe New Year's, and I'll see you in 2020. Bye-bye.